Well, the weekend has come to a close, but we do not end things here. So if you guys are big fans, of course, of the Joshi wrestling scene, you're always on the right channel. So today we're going to be doing two reviews. The first one is from Oz Academy, back from May in early with, of course, Shadow Strike at Takasaki. This one features many matches, of course, 5 of them to be exact. The main event features, of course, Zones, Rina Yamashita, and I forgot who it was. Oh yeah, Lady Destroy Hiroyo Matsumoto. They take on Suri, and of course we have Kohaku and Ryu Mizunami. So that's going to be a very fun, interesting match. And then we move on, of course, with Stardom's much recent and the latest show in Korakuen Hall. This one features also more matches. The main event features, of course, the members of Hate versus Neo Genesis, but this one, the main event features the return of Momo Watanabe. As you all know, she injured herself recently, so basically, now she's back with a vengeance. But the ending is a very interesting one because I think this is something that will dates back during the time of the Queen's Quest days. So you guys will see what I'm talking about. And then, as usual, we'll keep up, of course, with some news updates, but we're going to make this one a bit shorter since not a whole lot of information came out, but I'm looking forward to share it with you guys. So, let's get ready for another episode of Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Hey everyone, welcome to Deleted Wrestle Zone, all things that is pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, TNA, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, J-Rod here. So, if you are new to the channel, welcome. This is a channel where we do a lot of pro wrestling reviews from various promotions, not only here in the United States, but also in Japan, Mexico, Canada, Europe, the UK, anywhere where pro wrestling is not as big, but it continues to grow. We also, of course, do discussion videos, talk about various topics such as the wrestlers themselves, the promotions, factions, storylines, whatever we want to talk about. We also, of course, do more news updates. If certain information was unable to be on this episode, we can either put it on the next one or on a separate video by itself. We also, of course, do real-timing news updates to keep you guys on alert if something has happened in the world of wrestling that needs to be addressed ASAP. We also, of course, got the Unagi Sayaka watch and various other cool wrestling content as well. So if you like what you see, please subscribe to us or click on that subscribe button. You'll be getting a lot of daily reviews and other cool wrestling content as well. But if you like this episode, please give us a like on the like button or nice comments in the description down below. Now, it's enough with the yapping. It's time to rock. So, let's begin with Oz Academy. Okay, Oz Academy. Well, it's been a while since I actually reviewed one of their events. Now, for the record, this is one that I knew about, but I was unable to see. There were 3 other events that came out after this one, but I was unable to find anything to watch it. But I decided just to do this one in case anybody's interested. So this one is from the Shadow Strike at Takasaki that took place on May 3rd at the G Messi Gunma. So that's the name of the venue in case anybody asks. Now, we opened up with tag team action. We have Momoka Hanazono and Sonoka Kato taking on Unagi Sayaka and Dump Matsumoto. Now, For those who know Don Matsumoto, she is a veteran Yoshi wrestler, very recognizable. She often teams up with, of course, with the members of Hate, and she always uses a kendo stick to everybody. She also does the mist, kind of like Natsuko Tora, and Tajiri and a few others. So that kind of plays out too. Now, one thing that's funny is, of course, Unagi gives her the opportunity to let her to grab her opponent and let Dump actually use the kendo stick, but the result is Unagi getting caught in the misfire. So that ended up like that. But however, it was Dump that was able to pick up the win when she applied a big splash onto um, Momoka Hanazono, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. But Dub did actually do a post-match promo. I don't know what she said, but she had a nice talk with Unagi. I don't know what they talked about, but yeah. So we'll just leave things as that. Now our next match is singles action. We have Honoka from Wave versus Ram Kaicho. So basically, nothing too special about this, in case anybody asks. But however, of course, Ram Kaicho, who is far more experienced than Honoka, that is led it up to it. I mean, we all know that Ram Kaicho has ways of winning. I mean, in case of desperate measure, she uses the Ninja Stars or, of course, the Ectoplasm. But in this case, she didn't have to do any of that. She was able to pick up the win on Honoka when she applied a short range lariat, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, se acabó. Next up, we have an interesting tag team match. We have Azusa Inaba teaming up with Mayumi Ozaki. They take on Isuki Aoki and Ryu Mizunami. Oh, my bad. Ryu Mizunami was not on the other one. It was, I forgot her name. Akino, my bad. My mistake. Yeah, so anyway. Yeah, so basically, you know how dangerous. But here's the best part that happened. Um, Everybody knows that Azusa, as a member of Hate, they like to make the attack. Well, this time the tables were turned. Aoki and Mizunami decided to just attack them immediately because they were not going to take any chances. Because everybody who knows Azusa Inaba, who is a member of Hate, she would try to cheat her way through. Same thing with Mayumi Ozaki, except that she uses a chain to do that. And that always plays out. But of course, we know they were going to take them outside the ring and soften them up. But in the end, it was, of course, Ozaki with a somewhat of a shining wizard onto Aoki, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Next up, we have Tomoka Inaba taking on Kakeru. Now, Kakeru attacked Tomoka right before the bell rung, and of course, it's no secret that she's trying to pick up the win. The only reason is this: for those who don't know, Kakeru is in fact the Pioneer Champion, so basically, she does not want to lose the belt. But in this case, she did everything. Not to mention, of course, we did see distractions for Kakeru in order to to pick up the win, and of course, Kohaku tried to help her out in every way, but it didn't. But of course, somehow Tomoka Inaba was able to survive Kakeru's assault with a schoolboy, and just like that, it was over. 1, 2, 3. But I wouldn't be surprised if Tomoka Inaba issued the challenge for the championship that she has. So we'll see how things will roll. Now for our main event, we have Zones, Rina Yamashita, and Hiroyo Matsumoto teaming up. Now it's no secret, of course, that Zones and Matsumoto have teamed up before, but teaming up with Yamashita, it's always something to make them a fearsome trio. But they have their hands full against Suri, Akino, and Kakeru. No, Kohaku, my bad. Kohaku. It was a very interesting match, but when it comes to Suri, we all know she's a tough individual. She doesn't take any crap from anybody, especially for her opponents. But in the end, of course, it was Kohaku who was able to pick up the win when she applied a underhook facebuster onto Zones, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. So it was a pretty good event. Not bad. I mean, it was real fun to enjoy. So as of right now, we are done with DOS Academy. Let's move on with Stardom. Stardom Nighter in 2025 in Korakuen Hall. This took place recently on June 8th, which is today. So let's start with a pre-show match in case anybody misses out. We have the rookie Emma Maishima taking on Yuna Mizumori. So I have to say this is a good opportunity for Maishima to get her feet wet against a wrestler who has a bit more experience than her. But nothing too special, of course, in this particular match. But however, of course, I can tell you that this match ended exactly like you would expect. Yuna Mizumori was able to pick up the win when she applied the Supergirl, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Now, let's jump into the main card of the entire event. We opened up, of course, with the #1 contendership for the Future of Stardom Championship. Now, for those who remember or not, in New Blood, of course, Hina decided to give Rian the opportunity for a shot of the Future Championship. But however, Akira Kurigani, who picked up a win against her not too long ago, felt like she should have been the one to get the opportunity. So Hina proposed, how about a #1 contendership? Now, Hina, on the other hand, in this particular match, this is the interesting. For those who may not remember, or those who have not been keeping up that very well, there's certain type of rookies that appeared at a certain time. Now, Rian actually debuted like about a year ago into Stardom, and that kind of led to that. However, Akira Kurigani, I believe she debuted possibly early this year. Now, there have been some recent rookies that they debuted this year, most specifically, possibly last month. But Rian felt that it should have been her to pick up the win. She would put herself in a bit, in a bit of a funk, like questioning that it should have been her picking up the win against Kurigani, but she didn't. So that kind of put her in a perspective where she had to approach Sayuri Anu and Natsupoi to put her in that discipline, master match that was part of the 10th anniversary from Sayuri Anu and Natsupoi, which of course Rian knows that she cannot afford to lose this match. Now, Kurigani, I have to say, she has the tools and means to pick up the win. Not to mention she is now learning from someone who she admired, which is Zuzu, who ironically now is her team leader for Mi Vida Loca, which is the faction she's in. So basically, Kurigani knows she could win, but Rian is in that position where she has to win to prove herself that this was all for nothing. And I'd say she pulled it off beautifully, because I think learning from Kairi Ito might have taught her a few things, and that's exactly what she needed, because she picked up a fantastic win when she applied the bridge onto her, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, she's the #1 contender. And of course, Hina, as you probably can guess, now she knows she has to prepare herself. Now, this match will possibly take place on June 21st at Conversion, so we'll see what happens until then. Now, speaking of Conversion, it's been almost a year or so. We haven't seen Ami Sodi in action for quite some time. For those who don't know, Ami Sodi injured herself. She had to do some treatment to get that. She had a ACL and MCL, and now she returned to the to give a brief update that she is making her in-ring return, and that's going to happen on Conversion on June 21st. Now, it's still unclear who her opponent's going to be, but I'm sure it's going to be fun. I'm sure Saki Kashima and the rest of God's Eye are really happy to see her, but we'll see what happens. Now, our next match, we have an 8-woman tag team match. We have Kyoko Furusawa, Yuria Him, and they team up with FWC, Koguma and Hazuki, taking on God's Eyes, Kyoka Kotatsu, Tomoka Inaba, Hina, and Saki Kashima. Now, the one thing, of course, certain members of God's Eye do not like is the bear pose. So they try to tell, nope, not happening. So, of course, you know that they were going to get the Kuma pose, no matter what, because that's the last thing they need. But it did not work in favor for, of course, Koguma. But in the end, it was Tomoka Inaba with an ankle lock on Furusawa. Now, Furusawa, I have to say, she's a fantastic wrestler. I wouldn't be surprised if God's Eye had their sights on her. But Tomoka Inaba was able to pick up the win with the ankle lock. And just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Now, our next match, we have BMI 2000, which is the members of Hate, consisting of Raka and Natsuko Tora. They take on ESVs and the Rice or Bread, our current New Blood Tag Team Champions, Hanako and Waka Tsukiyama. So basically, this is, of course, when it comes to Hate, we all know their tactics, how they were going to win up. But however, this match ended with a double freezer bomb on both Hanako and Waka, but it was Natsuko Tora who was the legal person and Waka as well. And just like that, 1, 2, 3 is over. However, does this mean they'll challenge for the new blood belts? I mean, I'm not entirely sure. I mean, we know that Raka's 3-year experience have already exceeded, but I'm not sure how those rules apply now. But we'll see. Now, our next match, we have the Cosmic Angels, Sayaka Kurara, Aya Sakura, and Natsupoi taking on Stars, Momokogo, Saida, and Hanan. Now, keep in mind, folks, as you all know, Cosmic Angels and Stars are in a bit of a conundrum in themselves. Of course, Cosmic Angels lost their leader, Tam Nakano, when she was forced to, of course, retire thanks to Sayaka Mitani. Stars had a downside when Mayu Itani left Stardom, and of course, Hazuki and Koguma were drawn from Stars. So basically, they're trying to build up momentum. Who will be rising up? And I have to say, this was that moment. Okay, we have to. They have each unit has to step up. I know Stars will definitely try to recruit new members to join them. Cosmic Angels will have to do the same thing too. But I do strongly believe that Natsupoi has to step up as the leader since she was Tam Nakano's second, and I'm sure Tam would have loved to see her to do that. But we'll see what happens until then. But as of right now, let's talk about the match. I mean, nothing too special about it, but we know that these girls have what it takes to pick up the win. I mean, we have Aya Sakura as the Sendai Girls Junior World Champion. I mean, we know she has some great striking capability and all that, but it's Natsupoi who picked up the win onto Saida with the fairy gift, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. However, Natsupoi was not done yet. Apparently, as you all know, Saida and Hanan are our current tag team champions, the Goddesses of Stardom champions. So basically, Natsupoi issued the challenge for those belts. And of course, here's the interesting part. For those who may not remember or not, Natsupoi and Sayuri Anu were tag team champions back almost 2 years ago. But those belts were vacant because Natsupoi injured herself. And of course, she couldn't continue on with being injured. And this led, of course, to Natsupoi to vacate the belts, and Sayuri Anu was okay. And this was a perfect opportunity because Sayuri Anu and Natsupoi never lost those tag team belts. So, of course, I'm sure Wing Gori, of course, are going to accept it no matter what because they have to prove themselves that they're worthy to become tag team champions. But we'll see what happens until then. I wouldn't be surprised if that match will take place at Conversion on the 21st of June. Now, our semi-main event, we have Rana Yagami versus Suri. Now, of course, you probably think that this is a message for Suri to give to Suri through Rana Yagami. As you all know, Suri will be challenging for the IWGP Women's Championship at Conversion, if that was the case, because we all know recently Suri actually defended her belt against Alex Windsor, and that's exactly what happened. We all know that Alex Windsor lost the match, so that was now 100% confirmed that Suri will get her shot. And of course, Rana Yagami, we all know that she was trained well with Suri. She learned a lot of few things from her. But when it comes to Suri, she's even tougher than her. I mean, she doesn't take crap from anybody. But Suri has always been tough, and she was able to pick up the win with the double foot stomp, and just like that, it was over. But of course, Suri had to be that type of person who's like, where the hell are you, Shuri? I didn't see you. But of course, Shuri came back after who knows how long jet lag she's in after flying back from the UK. Of course, showed up. So we'll see what happens on Conversion. Now, our main event, we have all 4 members of Neo Genesis. Mei Sita, Miyu Misaki, Azumi, and Starlight Kid taking on Hate, consistent of Rina, Konami, the return Momo Watanabe, and Sayaka Mitani. Now, of course, there were some good moments in this match because for those who may not remember or not, back a few years ago, Momo Watanabe betrayed Queen's Quest, and she was the leader of the group, and she turned her back on someone who she used to call a friend, and that is, of course, Azumi. But it's no secret now what Momo's intention has become. She targeted Momo targeted Azumi. If you guys can guess why, she has something she tried to obtain once before, and if you guessed it, it's the New Japan Strong Women's Championship. Remember, she has gone for this belt before. This was during the time when Mercedes Moné had this belt. But however, of course, when it comes to hate, we know their tactics. They like to use weapons. They like to have some of their seconds to help out. That always been their play. However, it was Momo Watanabe with the Peach Sunrise and just on Azumi, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. So basically, Momo has made her tensions known. She wants the belt, and of course, Azumi is not going to take this crap one way or the other. She cannot afford. She has to beat her once and for all for what she did when she betrayed her and all of that. I'm sure Hate will do whatever it takes to obtain that belt too, to prove that they are the ones running Stardom. But we'll see what happens. So we got a lot more to go with Stardom, and pretty much it. So we're officially done with our reviews. Let's move on with some news updates. Okay, so welcome to our news updates. So let's begin, of course, with upcoming events. As you know, by the end of this month, we have the Spark Yoshi Puroresu of America with their upcoming Texas event, Ignite Texas. They announced Erika Ademia will be making her appearance. Then we have, of course, the Canadian promotion, Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling, with Resurrection that will take place on July 5th in Montreal. They just announced, of course, Shotzi Blackheart will be participating. So it's great to hear that she is now being booked after she was released recently. So can't wait to see it. Prestige Wrestling with their Combat Clash that will take place on the 13th of July. We have a women's tag team action. We have the Inspiration, Cassie Lee and Jessica McKay will be taking on, of course, former WWE stars, Elena Black, formerly known as Cora Jade, and B. Priestley, formerly known as Blair Davenport. So we have former WWE superstars in one match, and I have to say that's going to be interesting to hear. So that's pretty much it for our upcoming events. Let's talk about some developments now. For all you Yoshi wrestler fans out there, this one is a bit of another surprise that happened. I mean, I talked about recently about the much recent Yoshi wrestlers announcing their retirement, but this one was another surprise, and this one is coming from you. Yeah. YUU. Yes, you, the same one, big girl. Yeah, apparently she just announced her retirement that will take place on December 28th in Shinjuku Face. And I believe this was part of Sendai Girls' recent event too. So I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, I can't even believe that this is happening. Like, some of the best Yoshi wrestlers are now making their play to announce the retirement. I'm like, man, that's kind of suck. But I'm sure it's still unclear why. We haven't heard any. I don't think you has ever give us specific reasons. But if there's any reasons, I'll let you guys know as soon as possible. Now, speaking of Sendai Girls, Hazuki made an appearance, and apparently she went to confront Dash Shizako. So she wanted to have a match with her, and they agreed it will be a hardcore match at the next Korakuen Hall show. I'm like, oh, this is going to be interesting. Hazuki, I have to say, she is crazy. For those who don't know, FWC is more like Triple Crazy from Fukuoka. That's why they call themselves that. But it makes perfect sense. So I can't wait to see it. And finally, Jeremy Borash, for those who may remember him now, he used to be a backstage interviewer back from TNA. He has worked for WWE. He's currently still is. For those who don't know, he is playing a part now for Creative Plans with AAA. He was, of course, the lead person in charge of Worlds Collide. I have to say, I did love Worlds Collide. This was a fantastic event. If you guys haven't seen that review, go see it now because it's pretty awesome. And I have to say, Jeremy Borash did a pretty good job of it. Hopefully we see more of him with some more creative stuff that he can throw in. So we'll see. But as of right now, I think we are done with our news updates and everything else. let's call it a day. Well, I hope everybody enjoys this episode. Coming up, there is a brand new New Japan show. I probably will be reviewing that. I may have to do this a minimum due to the fact of some errands I have to do on Monday, but we'll see how things roll. Can't wait to review New Japan, and we'll see. I'm really looking forward to it. But as of right now, I'll say this, that I will see you guys on the next DWZ time, same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu. So, goodbye, and have a nice day. Bang.